Hi guys, thought I'd do a quick video to you guys, reference a topic that's quite close to my own heart, which is bullying. Okay, some of you in class will already know that a couple of our guys in the Hemel class who were in year 5 last term were being bullied. These bullies were in year 6. They were much taller and much stronger and older than our students. You will also know that our students use their training to beat the bullies. When the bullies follow them outside school and down the hill and continue to taunt them, the two students use what they'd learned to Aries combat to preemptively strike the bullies and teach them a lesson. They weren't vindictive, they weren't nasty, they didn't kick people when they were on the floor. They simply took the bullies to task and taught them why you should never bully, because you never know what the person you're attacking is actually capable of. I don't condone violence, but we live in the real world. And in the real world, even a head teacher, a doctor, a police officer will have their limits on how far you can push them before they respond aggressively. So, my video today, what I really want to talk about is how this, in my generation, that would have been the end of it. Bullies or kids had a fight at school, that would have been the end of it. If I had been 10 years of age and gone back to my parents, or if I'd have been 11, 12 years of age and gone back to my parents and said a couple of 10-year-olds are beating me up, they would have asked why. They would have asked what caused the fight, and they would have got to the bottom of it. If my own children came home and had got into fights, I'd ask why. I'd try and get to the bottom of it. I may even speak to the other child's parents to find out what's going on. But in this scenario, after 2 children from year 6 had been bullying 2 students for nearly a year, in fact they hadn't been bullying 2 students, they'd been near enough bullying the entire class. They'd found the weak points of every student in the class and they kept picking on them. So whether it was the race of the child, one of the children's relatives is homosexual, that was picked on, personal attacks on the families, calling their parents their mother's names. We all get the sticks and stones. It may break my bones and words will never hurt me. But after a year, words will seriously annoy you and will push you far enough to do something. So, the thing I find the strangest out of all this is that when the children from year 6 went home to their parents, the parents didn't phone the school and ask what happened. The parents didn't get in contact with the other parents and try and discuss it like adults. They phoned the police. Now, one of these students is my own son, and the other student is a very good friend of his. When the police came around to speak to me, they were trying to bully the point that my son had hit another student and so deserved an antisocial behaviour ticket or something like that. It only lasts for a year apparently, but that's what they were trying to give him. Until I pointed out that under the law, if you believe an offence or a crime is about to be committed against you, you're entitled to preemptive strikes. And since my son had been bullied for over a year, that day, when 2 Year 6 students came down the hill, he was entitled to a preemptive strike. I'm not here to argue the merits of the law. The police officer backed down and agreed with me, and we left on good terms. But with so much going on in the world, do we really think that a fight between two 10-year-olds or between a 10 and an 11-year-old is worth police time? Because I don't. I think the police have much better things to be getting on with, and I think that it stands to show the kind of character of the parents that instead of dealing with the case, they chose to involve the police straight away. To the bullies, you may have not known better. Maybe you were bullied and this is what you thought was okay. What I say to you is you've learnt a lesson. Even the kids smaller than you can hit harder than you. If you want to learn what real discipline, what real combat is, then I invite you to any one of Aries Combat's classes. This is an open invitation for you to come and train with a clean slate. If you do decide to come and train with us, I will show you the same courtesy that I show every other student, and I will let bygones be bygones. I implore you and your parents to learn a different way, to learn how to deal with problems you create and to deal with the consequences of your actions. If you continue to bully people now you've moved into year 7, you are very quickly going to find how violent the real world can be. If, like all of my students, you learn through discipline and hard work how to not only channel your anger and aggression, but build your own self-confidence and self-belief, you may find that actually those two kids who punched you, and punched is being kind, those two kids who beat you were actually doing you a favour, and actually you could come and learn not only a martial art but some life skills that'll carry you on through senior school and into the adult world. If you decide not to come to Aries, no hard feelings, but I do suggest you change your attitude and the way you approach the world. So, guys, that's my thoughts. It is nothing to do with me being a parent of a child who was bullied. It is everything to do with me watching the world protect those who shout the loudest rather than those who deserve it. We are too much of a society where if you shout loud enough, you will be the one that gets the most. It is about time we started to deal with the rights and wrongs in the world and not people's rights, and we started to go back to the old values and the old way of doing things, where children showed adults respect, adults taught children and other adults if they had skills, and knowledge was passed from generation to generation. Thanks a lot, guys.